There comes a time in life when you have to ask yourself who really holds the power over your peace. Is it the ones who push your buttons? The ones who don't see your worth, the ones who keep testing your patience? Or is you, the one who was fearfully and wonderfully made, the one who carries divine strength inside of you, one who has been given the ability to walk in peace no matter what comes against you? The enemy doesn't come dressed in red with horns and a pitchfork. No, the enemy comes in subtle ways and distractions, in frustration, those slow moments where you feel like you're losing control. He comes in that rude coworker, that family member who always knows just to say to set you off, that betrayal that still stings, that misunderstanding that keeps replaying in your mind. But can I tell you something? The enemy only has as much power as you give him. He only has as much control as you allow. Because when you truly know who you are, when you know the authority that has been placed over your life, you realize that you don't have time to be bothered. You don't have time to entertain negativity, to hold on to offenses, to let someone else's bad attitude dictate your day. There is too much destiny on your life. There is too much purpose on your journey. You've got places to go, things to do, and peace to protect. But let's be real, letting go of anger isn't always easy. It feels good to clap back sometimes. It feels justified to hold on to resentment. It feels like you have the right to be upset, and maybe you do. Maybe what they did was wrong. Maybe they were out of line. Maybe they did you dirty in a way that you never expected. But can I tell you something? Your peace is worth more than your pride. Your purpose is worth more than your right to be right. And sometimes the greatest power you can ever show is choosing to walk away, choosing to respond with grace, choosing to rise above what was meant to bring you down. The real power isn't in proving them wrong. It's in proving to yourself that they can't shake you, that they can't steal what God has placed inside of you, that their words, their actions, their negativity has no authority in your life. You have to make a decision that says, I will not be moved. I will not be shaken. I will not allow anything or anyone to pull me out of the place of peace that God has set me in. And that's not just talk, that's a mindset shift. That's waking up in the morning and deciding, today I choose joy. Today I choose peace. Today I choose to walk in the power that has been given to me. Because when you get to that place, nothing can touch you. Oh, they might try. They might come for you. They might throw shade. They might talk behind your back. But guess what? That's between them and their own bitterness. That's between them and their own unhealed wounds. That has nothing to do with you. Because you are on a different level now. And I know somebody's thinking, but you don't know what they did to me. You don't know how deep the wound is. And you're right. I don't. But what I do know is that tearing away what they did to you will never heal you. Holding on to that anger will never set you free. Revenge won't restore you. Bitterness won't bless you. Only peace will, only release will, only deciding that you will no longer be a prisoner to someone else's dysfunction. Because at the end of the day, it's not even about them, it's about you. It's about your future. It's about your growth. It's about your ability to walk in everything that was meant for you without being distracted by things that were never assigned for you in the first place. So you have to make a choice. You have to decide, am I going to stay bitter or am I going to be better? Am I going to let them steal my peace or am I going to protect it like the gift that it is? Am I going to let anger control me or am I going to walk in the freedom that was already promised to me? Because when you really get this, when you really understand that no one, not a single person, has the power to disrupt your peace unless you let them, you start moving differently. You stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You stop arguing with people who don't even have the capacity to see you. You stop letting things that are beneath you bring you down. Instead, you start walking with a different posture. You start speaking with a different authority. You start glowing with a peace that confuses people because they know what they tried to do to you. They know how they tried to break you. They know the traps they set, and yet you're still standing. You're still smiling. You're still thriving. And that, my friends, is revenge of all living so free, so full of joy, so unbothered that their negativity has no place in your atmosphere. And let me tell you something about unbothered people. They move differently. They don't clap back, they level up. They don't hold grudges, they hold wisdom. They don't waste time proving points, they prove points. They've lost power in their life. They know that their peace is too expensive to give away to cheap drama. So the next time someone tries to push your buttons, the next time someone tries to keep you there, I want you to remember who they are. I want you to remember the power you hold. I want you to remind yourself that you are too chosen, too called, too covered to ever be controlled by anything outside of you. Because when you truly know who you are, you stop being affected by who they are. You stop letting small things turn into big things. You stop giving temporary people permanent space in your mind. You stop fighting battles that were never yours to fight. And you start living in peace, living in purpose, living in a way that says, I refuse to let anything or anyone disturb the joy that I have. Because that joy, that peace, that purpose, that's your birthright, that's your inheritance, that's your gift. And no one, no situation, no comment, no past hurt has the right to take that from you. Holding on to anger, resentment, and past hurts can feel justified. After all, when someone does you wrong, betrays your trust, or disrespects you, it's natural to feel hurt. It's natural to want closure, an apology, or some form of justice. But what happens when that closure never comes? What happens when the apology you're waiting for never arrives? What happens when the people who hurt you go on living their lives while you remain stuck in the pain of what they did? The truth is, holding on to pain doesn't hurt them, it hurts you. It keeps you trapped in a cycle of frustration, replaying old conversations, reliving past wounds, and carrying burdens that never meant to be yours. It robs you of your joy, your peace, and your ability to move forward. You can't step into the new when you're still clinging to the old. You can't grow when you're weighed down by what's behind you. Letting go isn't just about forgiveness, it's about freedom. So many people think that letting go means excusing what happened, acting like it didn't hurt, or pretending it didn't matter. But letting go doesn't mean you ignore the pain. It means you choose not to let it define you. It means you decide that your future is more important than your past. It means you refuse to be bitter because you understand that bitterness poisons you, not the person you're mad at. Growth requires release. You can't climb higher while carrying unnecessary weight. Imagine trying to run a race while carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks. Every step would be harder, every movement slower, every breath heavier. That's exactly what happens when you hold on to anger and resentment. It slows you down, it keeps you stuck, it drains your energy. The moment you decide to set it down, to release it, to say, I will not let this hold me anymore, that's the moment you start running toward freedom. But let's be honest, letting go is not always easy. Sometimes pain becomes familiar, and we hold on to it because we don't know who we are without it. We replay old wounds in our minds like a favorite song, keeping them alive long after they should have been silent. But here's the thing, you don't need the pain to protect you. You don't need to keep rehearsing what they did to prove that it mattered. You don't need to hold on to the hurt to remind yourself never to be fooled again. You can acknowledge what happened, learn from it, and still move on. And moving on doesn't mean they won. It doesn't mean what they did was okay. It means you refuse to let it have power over you anymore. It means you recognize that your life is too valuable, your energy too precious, your purpose too important to waste on things that no longer serve you. It's a decision, a daily one, to wake up and say, I choose peace over pain. I choose growth over grudges. I choose my future over my past. Because the moment you let go, you create space for healing, space for new blessings, space for the joy that was waiting for you all along. And when you finally release what was weighing you down, you'll realize something powerful. You were never meant to carry it in the first place. There is a difference between reacting and responding. Reacting is immediate, emotional, and often fueled by frustration or anger. It's laughing back when someone disrespects you. It's proving a point in an argument just to feel like you won. If someone else's bad attitude, determine your own. But responding is wisdom. Responding is power. Responding is understanding that not everything deserves your energy, your time, or your peace. Too often, people think that silence means weakness, that not responding to negativity, you're letting someone get away. But can I tell you something? The strongest people are the ones who know when to speak and when to stay silent. The strongest people understand that every battle isn't theirs to fight. The strongest people choose their words carefully because they know that not every situation requires a reaction. The enemy knows exactly how to get to you. He knows your triggers, he knows what upsets you, and he will use people, circumstances, and unexpected moments to try to shape you. He wants you to react. He wants you to lose your cool. He wants you to step out of character. Because the moment you do, you give him control. You let the situation dictate your mood instead of standing firm in your peace. But when you walk in wisdom, you don't let those moments break you. You recognize the game and choose the. You understand that your energy is valuable and you don't waste it. Don't waste it on petty drama, unnecessary arguments, or meaningless distractions. You know that sometimes the best response is no response, that not engaging is the real power move, that holding on to your peace is more important than proving a point. Because let's be real, what do you actually gain from reacting out of anger? Maybe you get to have the last word. Maybe you get to win the argument. Maybe you get to make someone else feel the way they made you feel. But at what cost? Your peace, your energy, your emotional well-being. If you look back on the times you reacted out of frustration, you'll realize that most of those moments didn't serve you. They drained you. They distracted you. They made you feel worse, not better. So the next time someone tries to provoke you, pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Is this worth my time? Will this matter a month from now? If the answer is no, then walk away. Protect your peace. Let wisdom lead you instead of emotions. Because wisdom says, I don't need to prove myself to someone who doesn't even have the capacity to see me need. Wisdom says, I will not waste my words on someone who is committed to misunderstanding me. Wisdom says, my purpose is too great to be affected by pettiness. Walking in wisdom means knowing that your peace is more valuable than being right. It means being so confident in who you are that you don't need validation from an argument. It means understanding that real power isn't found in reacting, it's found in restraint. So, choose wisdom, choose peace, choose to walk away from anything that threatens your growth. Because when you do, you don't just protect your peace, you elevate your entire life. How people treat you is a reflection of them, not you. This truth is so simple, yet so many people struggle to embrace it. It's easy to take things personally when someone is rude, dismissive, or disrespectful. It's easy to assume that their words or actions say something about your worth. But the reality is how someone chooses to behave is a direct reflection of what's going on inside of them, not a statement about who you are. Think about it. Have you ever had a moment where you were going through something difficult and because of that, you weren't your best self? Maybe you were short-tempered. Maybe you didn't respond the way you should have. Maybe you unintentionally hurt someone else. Did that mean you were a bad person? No, it meant you were dealing with something internally that spilled over externally. That's exactly how it works with other people. When someone is angry, bitter, or filled with negativity, they project it onto others. It has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. A healed, whole, and happy person doesn't go around papers away. A secure person doesn't feel the need to attack others. A kind person doesn't make it their mission to cause harm. People operate from their own wounds, their own pain, and their own unresolved issues. The mistake most people make is internalizing other people's brokenness. They take on the negativity as if it belongs to them. They start wondering, what did I do? Why did they treat me like that? Am I not guilty? But the truth is, how they treated you wasn't a reflection of your value, it was a reflection of their own inner turmoil. You could have done everything right, and they still would have acted the same way because it's never about you. When you truly grasp this, you stop taking things personally. You stop letting people's bad attitudes shift your mood. You stop allowing someone else's inability to love you correctly to make you question if you are worthy of love. You stop making their issues your responsibility because it was never yours to carry in the first place. And here's the powerful part: when you realize that how people treat is about them, you also realize that how you respond is about you. You don't have to match their energy. You don't have to lower yourself to their level. You don't have to return disrespect with disrespect, because when you do, you allow their dysfunction to dictate your actions. But when you refuse to be moved by their behavior, you walk in a different kind of strength. You show that your peace isn't for sale, that your worth isn't up for debate, and that you don't need to prove yourself to anyone. It's not your job to heal people who refuse to heal themselves. It's not your responsibility to fix what you didn't break. And it's certainly not your burden to carry the weight of someone else's bitterness. Your only job is to protect your peace, hold on to your joy, and continue walking in love regardless of how others choose to act. The moment you stop allowing other people's brokenness to break you, you set yourself free. You become untouchable in a way that confuses them. They wonder why you're not reacting, why you're not bothered, why you're not thinking to their level. And that's when you know you've mastered something they haven't. You've chosen wisdom over offense. You've chosen grace over retaliation. You've chosen to be free. Every single day is a fresh opportunity to make a choice. Life doesn't always offer us perfect conditions, and it certainly doesn't promise a day free of challenges. But what it does offer is the power to decide how we will navigate the day. We can choose joy or choose frustration, choose peace or choose anxiety, choose love or choose bitterness. And every time you choose joy, you affirm that nothing external can steal what's already inside of you. Choosing joy isn't about pretending that everything is perfect. It's not about denying the difficulties, the fools, or the disappointments that come your way. It's about making the intentional decision that despite the circumstance, you will find something to be grateful for, something to smile about, and something to lift your spirit. It's a mindset, a way of looking at the world, and a commitment to yourself that no matter how things unfold, you will remain rooted in joy. When you make joy a choice, you take control of your emotions. You no longer let the unpredictable nature of the world determine your mood. You stop giving away your peace to things that you cannot control. There's so much power in this simple shift. You realize that the people who cut you off in traffic, the person who speaks harshly to you, or the situation that falls apart, do not have to dictate your inner world. And it's not always easy. Life has a way of testing your peace, pushing you to the limit, and seeing if you will break. But the beauty is that you get to decide how you will respond. You can choose to just rise above it. Choosing joy in the face of adversity shows strength and resilience. It shows that you refuse to let circumstances define you. It shows that you are bigger than the temporary problems you face. And you understand that your peace is non-negotiable. Choosing joy also means focusing on the good. The more you train your mind to look for the positive, the more you'll begin to see it. You begin to notice the small moments of beauty, whether it's a kind word from a friend, the warmth of the sun, the laughter of your black doing, or the simple act of kindness you receive from a stranger. When you decide to choose joy, you start finding blessings in places you once overlooked. This shift in perspective transforms your entire outlook on life. You begin to see that no matter how challenging your day has been, there are always things to be grateful for. And here's the thing, choosing joy doesn't mean ignoring your feelings. It doesn't mean pretending everything is fine when it's not. It means acknowledging your emotions but not letting them control you. It means giving yourself permission to feel what you feel, but also giving yourself permission to move beyond it. The decision to choose joy is an act of self-care, a way to protect your peace and your mental health. You see, joy is not dependent on external circumstances, an internal choice. It's a decision to refuse to be dictated by what happens around you. It's a commitment to hold on to your peace no matter what life throws your way. It's about understanding that your joy comes from within and that it is your right to feel joy, even when the world seems chaotic. When you choose joy, you free yourself from the chains of negativity and fear. You refuse to let them weigh you down or cloud your vision. You choose to rise, to smile, to laugh, and to experience life fully. In doing so, you not only protect your peace, but you become a beacon of light to others. People will see your calm in the storm, your strength in the face of adversity, and your ability to remain unshaken despite what's happening around you. And the best part, when you choose joy, you empower others to do the same. Your choice to remain peaceful and joyful becomes contagious. It becomes a reminder to those around you that it is possible to rise above the noise, to stay centered amid the chaos, and to walk through life with a spirit of gratitude. Your joy becomes a gift not only to yourself, but to everyone you encounter. And that is the power of choosing joy every day. It's easy to assume that peace is something that just happens, that if life goes smoothly, if people treat you right, then you'll naturally feel at ease. But real peace isn't about what's happening around you, it's about what's happening inside you. True peace is intentional. It's something you create, something you nurture, and something you fiercely protect. You don't just wait for peace to come, you decide that nothing and no one will steal it from you. Every day, life will present opportunities for you to be frustrated, or unsettled. Someone will say something disrespectful. The situation won't go as planned. You'll face disparity, disappointment, and unexpected challenges. And in those moments, you have a choice. Will you allow the external world to dictate your internal world? Or will you stand firm and protect your peace? Choosing to protect your peace doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending things don't hurt. It means setting boundaries around your energy and deciding what is and isn't worth your time. It means refusing to engage in unnecessary drama, refusing to entertain toxic conversation, and refusing to let other people's negativity take root in your spirit. It means knowing when to walk away, when to stay silent, and when to remove yourself from environments that disturb your peace. And protecting your peace is not selfish as necessary. Some people will try to make you feel guilty for prioritizing your well-being. They will expect you to be available for every argument, to respond to every insult, to carry their burdens, and to absorb their negativity. But you are not obligated to participate in dysfunction. You are not responsible for fixing what you didn't break. You are not required to sacrifice your peace just to make someone else comfortable in their chaos. Some people thrive on conflict. They look for reactions. They feed off of drama. But you don't have to give them what they're looking for. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to attend every battle you're invited to. There is power in walking away. There is power in choosing not to engage. There is power in saying, this is not worth my peace. And let's be honest, protecting your peace also means protecting your mind. What are you feeding your spirit daily? What conversations are you engaging in? What social media content are you consuming? What thoughts are you allowing to take residence in your mind? Because by what you focus on, you become. If you're constantly surrounding yourself with negativity, drama, and toxicity, then don't be surprised when your peace starts to fade. But if you fill your mind with wisdom, with encouragement, with positivity, then peace will naturally flow from within you. You have to be intentional about what you allow into your space. Not every phone call needs to be answered. Not every message needs a reply. Not every issue requires your attention. Some things are best left alone. Some people are best loved from a distance. Some battles are won simply by refusing to fight them. When you truly understand that peace is a priority, you stop feeling guilty for protecting it. You stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You stop justifying your boundaries to those who refuse to respect them. You stop apologizing for choosing yourself. Because at the end of the day, your peace is your responsibility. No one else will protect it for you. So guard it. Defend it. Make it a priority. Because when you have peace, you have clarity. And when you have clarity, you can move forward in confidence, unshaken by the chaos around you. When we talk about the importance of protecting your peace, it's easy to overlook how vital it truly is. Life constantly presents situations and people that have the potential to steal your inner calm. From work-related stress to personal conflicts, there are 1,000 distractions vying for your emotional energy. But the key to thriving in the middle of it all lies in the ability to protect your peace. This is not just about avoiding conflict, but also of setting boundaries, making intentional decisions, and refusing to let external chaos influence your inner state. In many ways, protecting your peace is a form of self-care. Just as you would guard your physical well-being, you must also guard your emotional and mental well-being. Imagine a house with open doors and windows where anyone can come in and out. The elements such as air or wind can easily damage the furniture or belongings inside. Your peace works in the same way. If you allow negativity, toxicity, or unresolved emotions to enter without restriction, it will erode your peace from the inside out. You have to be intentional about closing the doors and windows to protect the sanctity of your spirit. The first step in protecting your peace is learning to recognize when it's under attack. People, situations, and even your own thoughts can act as thieves of your peace. Someone might say something hurtful and immediately a wave of anger or frustration rises within you. You might have plans that don't go as expected and suddenly you feel overwhelmed. These moments aren't just frustrating, they're intense. The moment you start to feel your peace slipping, it's an opportunity to decide. Will you let the external situation control you, or will you choose to rise above it? This is where the power of choice comes in. You have to understand that not everything requires a reaction. There is immense strength in pausing before you respond to a situation. Not every comment, not every disappointment, and not every unfair needs your emotional response. Often, your first instinct is to defend yourself, to react, or to prove a point. But in doing so, you give away your energy. You engage in a battle that will ultimately cost you more than it's worth. In those moments, the best course of action is to step back, breathe, and assess whether reacting will contribute to your peace or further disturb it. By learning to pause, you begin to realize that many of the things that once disturbed you don't even need your attention. The next level of protecting your peace is setting clear boundaries. Boundaries are not meant to isolate you or create walls. They are there to protect your mental and emotional well-being. Some people may not respect your boundaries at first, especially if they're used to having easy access to your time, energy, and emotions. But when you start to establish boundaries, whether it's saying no to something that doesn't serve you, refusing to engage in negativity, or simply walking away from a toxic situation, you send a powerful message to yourself and to others. Your peace matters. Boundaries also apply to the way you engage with your thoughts. Just as you wouldn't let someone into your home without permission, you shouldn't let negative thoughts freely enter your mind. When you allow self-doubt, fear, guilt, or resentment to dominate your thinking, you're inviting chaos to your mental space. Guarding your thoughts means being aware of any negativity to take hold and intentionally shifting focus to something more positive. It's about choosing peace, even when it feels like the world is urging you to hold on to frustration or worry. Sometimes protecting your peace requires distance from certain people, environments, or even situations that drain your energy. Not all relationships are healthy, and not all environments foster peace. If you are constantly surrounded by negativity, drama, or people who bring you down, it's important not to evaluate whether those relationships are contributing to your peace or depleting it. This doesn't mean you have to cut people off completely, but it may mean taking a step back and reducing the amount of emotional investment you place into relationships that drain you. Distance gives you the clarity you need to see things more objectively, to regain your balance and to protect your peace. One of the most important elements of protecting your peace is practicing self-compassion. Life can be overwhelming, and sometimes then you may feel like you're carrying too much. But in those moments, it's essential to give yourself grace. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to handle everything with a smile. It's okay to acknowledge that some days will be harder than others. What matters most is that you don't let those hard days steal your peace entirely. Allow yourself to feel what you feel, process those emotions, and then choose to move forward with strength. Protecting your peace doesn't mean pretending everything is okay. It means choosing to alleviate difficulties with grace. Knowing that you don't have to stay stuck in a storm. In the end, protecting your peace is about taking full responsibility for your emotional state. No one else can control your inner world unless you allow them to. It's about recognizing that you have the power to choose how you respond to life's challenge, how you set boundaries, and how you manage your thoughts and emotions. When you make peace a priority and take the necessary steps to protect it, you empower yourself to live a life that is reactive and more intentional, more grounded, and more fulfilled. In life, challenges are inevitable. People will disappoint you, situations will frustrate you, and there will be times when everything seems out of control. But through it all, remember that you hold the power to choose how you respond. Protecting your peace isn't about avoiding difficulties. It's about maintaining control over your emotional and physical state, despite them. It's about setting boundaries, choosing joy, and not allowing anyone or anything to dictate your inner calm. As you move forward, remember that your peace is a sacred seed and only you can decide what gets to enter it. When you stand firm in your peace, you open the door to a life filled with clarity, strength, and resilience. Choose peace, protect it fiercely, and let nothing or no one take it from you. Your peace is your power. So walk in that truth. Stand in that confidence. Protect your peace at all costs, and never ever let them see you bothered.